Animals. Who's passionate about pets? Yeah. I'm going to turn it over to our Passion for Pets segment. Let's give it up for Christine Filati, Passion for Pets.
Thank you. So this evening I have two very interesting guests, Meredith and Matt, who both found Paws Unite People. And this is not your run-of-the-mill rescue. So thank you so much for being on. And I would love for you to tell our listeners a little bit about the different, first start with the mission of Paws Unite People.
Well, the mission for Paws Unite People is to give animals a second chance. We take abused, neglected animals that otherwise no one would look at. So a lot of times when rescue groups go to a shelter, they're looking for dogs. There's some cases that are in the back in the corner. Either they have behavior problems or medical problems that are too much to take on because we're all nonprofit and it's hard.
Of course.
We'll take those dogs and we put them through a program, cats too, to give them a second chance in life. We believe it's important to try to do that and help them find their purpose. Right. Through giving them purpose, we bring hope to others. So we can take those animals that otherwise wouldn't have had a chance and show people if these guys can do it, you can too. Right. Because there's that symbiotic relationship between animals and people. Right. So we kind of like a challenge. And we take on the animals that everybody says, oh, you don't want to do that dog. And that's exactly the dog I'm taking, or the cat I'm taking. We've taken cats on that people said were untamable, and they are.
Okay, so. Well, wow, that's... So, I know that you guys have a lot of different programs, Paws Unite People, so just let our listeners know just about some of the programs that you have in terms of your rescue group.
Okay, well, there's the Second Chance program, and through the Second Chance program, again, we take abused, neglected, and shelter animals, and we put them through a program to make them adoptable. Okay. We try to give them purpose in life. We give all of our dogs therapy training.
Which I love. Great idea. I think it's phenomenal. Just say that again. I love that. You said
every single one of our dogs goes through a series of training so that they could be a therapy dog. They're not all going to pass, but we give every dog that chance because that level of training gives them more of an opportunity to be in a home. So even an aggressive dog that bites people, that dog's going to get trained the same way as I would train an animal to go to a hospital to see a little kid, because it gives them it's a different way of looking at it. Right. Instead of the firm, hard corrections, it's a softer approach. And sometimes when you're dealing with an abused animal, it's a better way for them to wrap their head around what you're trying to do and learn to trust you. And that Second Chance program, we have placed a lot of dogs as therapy animals and emotional support animals. So we just took a dog from the euthanasia list, the urgent list in Philly, and a dog that had been sitting in the Brookhaven Animal Shelter for 2 years, and placed them with a little girl who has terminal cancer and autism from the tumor in her brain. And they go with her for her treatments, and she gets to keep them. They're not service dogs because she doesn't have enough time to do that with them. That's a lot of classes and a lot of hours, and we just wanted her to have dogs that we knew were going to be safe to be with her all the time. And Monica's autism is much better as far as her thought process and able to express herself since she got both of the dogs, and they're both pit bulls. I just thought I'd add that.
I'm a big pit bull lover.
And both of those dogs were deemed dog aggressive, and they live together, and they said no kids, and they're with a kid with autism. And they were both said no other pets, and we've thrown cats at her, and she fosters for us, and she helps us with another one of our programs, which is Pup Outreach, which I'm going to let Matthew talk about because Matt is the outreach guy.
We find helping families. A lot of times when people have trouble with an animal, it's not intentional. We help people pay for vet bills so the family can stay together, and we become part of the family. So if if your roof is leaking, or if you want to become more of an animal rescuer yourself, we'll enable you to your capacity.
Love that.
We're actually, I found one of the biggest problems with animals on Long Island are the stray and homeless cats.
Right. Yes.
They're reproducing in mass, and there's not really anything tangible being done about it. So I've tried to build little sanctuaries in people's homes or in people's yards out of pallets and repurposed materials where 20 or 30 animals can finish their life in a safe environment without being a detriment to the bird or the wildlife around there. And it enables veterinarians to get behind the program because through our 501c3, we can actually have them write off their services as donation in kind, and it winds up getting kids more involved. And when you teach people compassion at a young age, that's what we need right now in society more than anything is compassion and understanding, and it fosters it through the animals.
Great, I love that.
I think the biggest thing to understand is I've been in a lot of rescue groups. I volunteered for a lot of people, and I've worked at big shelters when I was in college, and I learned one thing. You can't afford to pay your medical bill, you surrender your dog, they fix it, and they give it to someone else. But there's good people out there, and the economy's awful, believe me, I know. So just because your dog has a tumor and you can't afford the $4,000 to remove it, doesn't mean I should take your dog away. Because I think that's bull, and I think it's not right. So we'll pay for your dog to get the surgery, and you keep your dog, and then you work it off by helping us pay it forward with our outreach program. So our Pup Family program and our outreach program go hand in hand. So like Monica's family, we were able to give them 2 dogs. They can't afford it with the cancer treatment, so we give them the dog food, we cover the vet bills, and they pay it forward. So they help Matt build a cat house. They do our outreach work. They help us give out dog food, and then the kids help me train dogs when I'm working with therapy dogs. So it's all about a circle. And you know, Lion King, circle of life. Yes, everybody thinks that crazy, but I do believe what you put out there comes back to you tenfold. And through animals, you can really show that to people. And if you put a little bit of effort, because love goes so long. Love goes so far, it goes a long way.
Wow, I think that's wonderful. I am so grateful that you guys came on, because I know a little bit about your organization, but I want more people, I want more listeners and pet owners. And in closing, just let them know what they can do to help your organization, donations, whatever you need to continue your great work, which we all appreciate, and where they can find you on the internet.
Okay, we are at www.PawsUnitePeople.com. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is Paws Unite People. YouTube, Paws Unite People. I need to do more YouTube, but I've been busy. We actually really need fosters. I'm getting a lot of calls for dogs that need help. I mean, today I had to turn away the most beautiful Chihuahua I've ever met. Great soul, 3 years old. I have nowhere for him to go. Cats, kids, dogs, he could go anywhere, and I just have nowhere for him to go because we are a foster network. We're in the process of acquiring a place where we could open Luna's house, which will be a rehabilitation center, so we can do things on a grander scale. But until that happens, we are, fosters only. We do need donations. We've taken on a lot of really hard medical cases lately. I think we're $7,000 owed at the veterinarian on our tab for dogs that one owner died and she stopped eating. She got pneumonia. She pretty much gave up, but we were able to bounce her back. And the other was a family. Their dog got hit by a car because the babysitter left the door open. So I wasn't going to take their dog away, and I wasn't going to have the dog's leg removed, so we paid for the surgery. So our vets are great. They let us run a tab, but eventually we do have to pay that off. So we definitely need help. We always need dog food. We have a lot of special needs dogs, so those limited ingredient diets are great. But anybody can give us an email at info@PawsUnitePeople.com and say, hey, I want to help. And I'm going to say, what do you do? And they can say, hey, listen, I'm in construction, and I'm going to point them to Matthew to build a cat house. Believe me, every skill, Meredith Festa will find a way to make it Animal Rescue.
Thank you so much for your time, Matt and Meredith. That's Paws Unite People, and for more information, you can contact me, your pet chef, here at the Halftime Howie radio show. Thanks, guys.
Okay, that was excellent. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with James Hodge and Rocco right after the break, and then we're going to have Ryan and Anna. And we're going to close the show with some amazing musicians. So we're going to take a break. Coming to you live from the MLK Center right here in beautiful Long Beach. I am Halftime Howie. This is Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie on Long Island's first and oldest radio station, AM 1240, WGBB.